Welcome to Stivers Homestead. I am Jen, and today we are going to be making strawberry jam. So one of the biggest requests that we have had for Jenny's farm stand is to have jellies, jams, and preserves. We actually put out a poll, and I was surprised that jams and preserves were the most liked and the jellies were the least. I prefer jellies. I don't really like bits or seeds in my stuff, but you all have spoken. So that is what we are doing. We've got tons of strawberries because it's the strawberry time of year. We're going to make some strawberry jam, and then we're going to water bath can it, which is the simplest thing you'll ever do, and then we'll see how it goes. So while I am washing and cutting all my strawberry tops off, I've already got my water bath canner going. We've got it filled up to about that top line right there because our jars are going to need to be submerged, and I've got that on high heat so that that can start boiling and I can get my jars in and get them cleaned up. Alright, we've saved all of our tops because those are good for the animals. The pig's gonna love that. And we've got all of our strawberries washed up, tops cut off, and just really good inspected. Some had a few spots on them, so I just got rid of those. You want to make sure that you're not putting any bad strawberries in there. So this is probably about 10 pounds, and now we're going to get started with our jam.
Sometimes I'm able to catch her singing. She doesn't know it.
You didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it. I think it was too loud. Alright. I have finished the meeting, so now I'm in here to tear everything up that she already done. She doesn't find it funny. She doesn't find it funny. Okay, for real. What you doing?
I'm giving them one last rinse just to get off any extra leaves or anything that were left behind. And then we'll go.
Alright, while she's getting prepared to start mashing them bad boy strawberries out of there, I did want to mention to you all, so jams and jellies are like canning 101. It's like, if you're fresh to canning, or if you're new to it, or if you have a little fear of doing canning and jumping in, like this is where you start. Jams and jellies, 100%. They're so easy to do, you basically cannot mess it up, like at all. So this is the one that you want to do if you are beginning. So just keep that in mind. If this is your first time or a roundabout, this will help you gain that confidence. Okay, what you doing?
Okay, so now we're gonna mash. I think I mentioned this. Most recipes call for 5 pounds. I've got about 10 pounds, so I just threw it all in this really big bowl, and I'm gonna mash it all together. But I'm gonna show you how to do it for 10 pounds, and if you're only wanting to do 5, just cut everything in half.
Okay, what are we doing now?
Alright, so they're all mashed up. There is chunks because this is jam, so that is okay. We're going to pour it into our very large stock pot. We've got plenty of room. So remember, we have 10 pounds, so we're going to double our recipe. So that's going to be 4 tablespoons of lemon juice.
So it'd be 2 tablespoons if you're doing 5. What now?
Now we're going to do a teaspoon of butter. So this is our cow's butter. Just like to say that.
Hand shook by us. It is very exciting. I was saying that.
Yeah.
All right. So how much was that? Sorry, I missed it.
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
All right. Next, we're putting in 2 packets of pectin. This is Sure Gel Premium Fruit Pectin. There is a way to get around this to where you don't have to use pectin. I've never successfully done it, so until we figure that out, we're going to use pectin.
Yeah.
So since we're doubling, we're going to do 2 packets of it. All right, we've turned our heat on high, and we're going to use our wooden spoon to stir this, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. Okay, so while it's coming to a boil, you just want to keep stirring it the whole time, just making sure everything gets mixed together and doesn't stick. And then meanwhile, our jars are in our boiling water getting sanitized.
And an added thing to the hot jars is if you're putting hot food, you need to put it into hot jars. Yeah. So cold, hot, put it into the hot container.
So we just keep them in there until it's time.
Yeah, that hurt.
Fill them up.
Did you tell them to also keep that? It's good to have that water boiling anyways, because water bath can you have so much. Cool. All right, almost sugar time. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up a little disclaimer, asterisk on this bad boy. You're about to see a bunch of sugar go up in this thing. 2 things to remember. 1, this is going in multiple jars, so it isn't the amount all in one jar. It's gonna be split amongst probably 12 or 20-ish different jars. Secondly, it's jam. It's very sugary. There's probably alternatives that you can do.
You can find sugar-free. However, I can't sell sugar-free in the store. It has to have sugar in it, so.
Isn't that wild? It's mind-blowing, isn't it? So, we're going with the sugar.
Okay, so we're gonna start adding our sugar. So if you're doing 5 pounds, you're gonna do 7 cups of sugar. We're doing 10 pounds, so we're gonna do 14 cups of sugar. All that in, and then we're gonna bring it back to a boil and let it boil for 1 minute while we keep stirring.
Okay, we are a minute in. Now what are you doing?
Now I'm using a metal spoon to scoop all this foam off the top.
Don't want that in your jars.
Okay, so now we're gonna ladle everything into our jars and we're gonna leave a 1/4 inch headspace.
All right.
Alright, now we're going to take our paper towel, it's got white vinegar on it, and we're just going to go around of our tops and anywhere you might have spilled anything and just wipe all that off so you make sure that you get a good seal.
This jam looks absolutely amazing.
It smells good too.
Yes, it does. While she's doing that, these were Anchor Hocking jars. It's one of those, not ball ones, right, that you can get your hands on. Sometimes jelly jars are harder to find, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say like off-brand, but not ball, is what I'm getting at.
Well, we found these at our local IGA store.
Yeah, and we always pick up jars no matter what, because we love them. The thing is, this is an untested lid. I mean, it's not even, we don't know, right? And when it comes to canning, this is really your most important piece. Obviously, you need a jar that can handle canning and can handle that pressure so it won't crack in the process. These are canning jars, so we don't have any fear there. But an untested lid is your scariest piece. So, as you all know, or you may not have been aware, in 2020, the shortage was canning jars and lids. It was so hard to get a hold of all of them. Well, in that time frame, because really we just have Kerr and Ball, which is the same company. And that's the only thing that you can really get your hands on of a trusted canning lid. Well, 2020 was a chance of opportunity for some other companies to help relieve that pain and bring some of those in. One of those was Denali Canning. So this is a company that sent us some of their lists to try out, and they swear by them. They say they're great. So we're going to try them out with our jams here and see how they go, because there's nothing better than having an abundance of these lids around. So thank you to Denali for giving us a try out here to see how these work and be able to give you all a review on how we like
And
them.
will we keep these and use these other ones? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Never throw lids away, even if they're old, because if you're an experienced canner, you could be potentially in a situation where you have to reuse them.
Right.
Always have them. Always keep them, even if they're not your favorite go-to.
That's exactly right. And think about when your cucumbers come and you want to make refrigerator pickles. You don't even have to worry about canning, right? You can just use those. So, let's see how these bad boys do. All right, do a quick little shot of that.
They're button top just like the rest of them. They look beautiful, good seals around there, and I think they're going to be just great.
Yeah, I think so too. So, all right, lids on, vinegar's done, and then we'll get the rings on and get these bad boys in the canner. Okay, we got all 10 jars in the water bath canner. It was able to hold 10. Jen is filling up more for our second batch. But for us, it's going to be 10 minutes that it's going to be process time. However, remember, that is when it comes back to a boil. Once we put those jars in, that boil dropped. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it. As soon as we see that boil starting again, that's when we'll start our 10-minute timer. Timer's up. One thing you just noticed there from Jen, this is a minor thing, but you need to always make sure you do it. When you take the lid off, lift it away from you, because that's a lot of steam. You get real burny. Let's see those beauties.
They're gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's the whole batch. Now we'll let them sit for 24 hours and we'll give you a review on the Denali because we do have some balls in here. I'm going to tell y'all right now the balls have already snapped and they have not snapped yet. So we'll keep an eye out and we'll let you know how it goes in 24 hours. Whew, it is hot. So it has been a day later and we just got done doing chores and it is hot and humid. I know it is across the country, but my goodness, walk out there in a immediate wetness. So back to the strawberry jam. Here we are. So ours has a little give to it, which we like. We're okay with that because we like it to spread easily. So I would say maybe add another half pack of pectin if you wanted to try to get it to where it wouldn't move at all. But we are satisfied with that homegrown strawberry jam. Now, the Denali lids. Here's the thing. We did a good test because we also used ball lids in the mix of this. So we wanted to see how they would go together and against each other. One thing for sure, as most of you know, if you can, you get a nice loud ding with ball when they seal. Denali's was much quieter and you couldn't hear it just by the naked eye unless you was right there beside it. So that would be one recommendation is let's work on that ding. How can we get that ding a little louder to confirm that we are definitely sealing? But one thing that you can do as a test is grabbing the lid itself and making sure that we're sealed. Also, the pop top. The pop top's a very easy way to be able to tell. There is no give, it doesn't go in and out. We are canned and sealed. Everything canned and sealed, not one didn't. So that's great news. So our experience with the Denali canning lids seemed to be pro. Now, we'll continue to see and continue to use the ones that they had sent us and see if we have any issues down the road. But we did want to say when it comes to the balls and the Denali's, they all canned or they all sealed and they all look pretty good. But we hope you all enjoyed learning how to make strawberry jam. Like we said, this is fairly easy. You can basically use this recipe for most any fruit that you're wanting to make a jam out of. And I hope you enjoyed. So if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We love y'all. Bye.